There are two sides to this business. Okay, side one is doing the business, showing the houses, writing the offer, listing property. Most agents can do this just fine. Side two is generating the business, and this is where the separation happens. This is where 90% of agents struggle and where the top 10% live. If your clients call you first, you're failing. If they're calling you for updates, you're failing. You should be initiating the contact.
Welcome to Signature Buzz, your fast-paced weekly real estate sales meeting.
And this is session 4 of Cultivating Relationship series. This is the job. This is where it all starts. And yes, it is work. It's a commitment and it takes time, real time. It takes energy. It's exhausting. And make no mistake about it, but this is the job. Relationship building isn't a side task. Are you guys feeling that yet? It's a lot of work, isn't it? But it is the core of thriving. It's the core of being a full fee agent, getting repeat business and referral-based business. Let me repeat that. Relationship building is not something you tack onto your to-do list. It is the foundation of the entire thing. And it demands consistent emotional energy. It demands presence. It demands that you care. This is emotional labor, and none of it is easy, but all of it is essential. Relationship work is identity work. It's who you are. If you're treating people like transactions, like many agents do, especially the ones who are selling high volume of homes, you're probably treating yourself that way too, transactional. Judging yourself based on your numbers, comparing yourself to others, feeling less than if you don't measure up, your production becomes your identity. That's a broken model. So ask yourself, am I showing up as someone I would trust? Would you do business with you? And why or why not? You know everything about yourself. Would you hire you? We talk about this all the time, letting go of the outcome. It's a foundational principle in our coaching, and it's why the next 4-week course we're rolling out is going to be practicing mindfulness. Because here's the truth, life doesn't come with guarantees. The only guarantee is that you're going to die. And I know that sounds morbid. Everything else is up for grabs, including when that happens, including your outcome in real estate. So whatever you do, including cultivating relationships, there is no certainty. There's only probability. And even if you do all the right things, even if you show up with consistency, presence, empathy, sometimes people won't stay connected. That's not failure. That's reality. You've all experienced it. A friend, a family member, a past client, you were sure they would work with you if they bought or sold. And then they list with someone else. That's part of the deal. It doesn't mean you did something wrong. You may have done everything right. Practicing mindfulness means letting go. Let go of your need for guarantees. Let go of your need to control the outcomes. And still show up. Work, cultivate, put your heart and soul out there. And yes, Jeff, be vulnerable. Let's make a distinction we've made throughout this series because it matters. We are building emotional trust, not just doing tactical touch points. Most agents, if they're doing anything, are running on CRM reminders. But clients don't stay loyal because of CRM reminders. This isn't a knock on CRMs, it's a knock on superficiality. Clients stay loyal because of how you make them feel. Trust is earned through presence. Trust is earned by listening deep, empathetically. Trust is earned through vulnerability, not through perfection, not through always being liked. So again, ask yourself, do I trust myself? Am I showing up to give or am I showing up to get? If you're going to cultivate real relationships, it has to be about giving. Let's talk about people. not just deals. You have to know their life, not just their transaction. You need to know their story, not just their price point. Be present for the milestones, the birthdays, the divorces, the marriages, achievements, the good and the bad, all of it. Sending someone an email on their home anniversary, that doesn't build trust. You want to be remembered as someone who truly cared about their life. So be honest. Are you caring more about the paycheck or the person? No judgment, just honesty. If it's about the paycheck, understand you're operating from a survival mode. I used to say the root of all evil in real estate was the belief that something was better than nothing. But it's evolved. Now I believe the root of all evil is the transactional approach. That mindset leads straight to burnout. It's the survival mindset at its best. And yes, some people can sell a lot of homes in that mindset, but there is no happy ending. More is never enough. Transactional thinking is about speed, control, and outcomes. Get it done, move on. Get it done, move on. That's why so many agents don't stay in touch, because the transaction was the point, not the person. But you weren't told that. You've been programmed since day one to be a commodity, programmed to be transactional, programmed for failure. A relational mindset is about trust. It's about depth. It's about legacy. You'll be remembered for how you make people feel. Do an honest reflection. Look at the people you're working with right now. Do they feel like leads or like human beings who matter to you? What do you think they'd say if I called them up and asked? Deeper versus wider. That's everything we coach. Are you going deep or are you going wide? Throwing things at the wall and hoping something sticks? You go wide because it feels safer. It's something. If something doesn't work, you'll just try something else. But deeper, that feels risky, vulnerable. It's not about how many people you contact, it's about how deeply you connect. I used to teach the 20 contacts a day mantra. I was the poster child. I should have been thrown in broker jail for that. You don't need 1,000 people. You need to go deep with fewer people to build lasting, loyal, and impactful relationships. Depth over volume, loyalty over leads, reputation over reach. Being a human is the strategy. You don't need to be taught how to be a human. You need to strip away the programming. Beneath all the conditioning is a vibrant, soulful, powerful human being. Want to thrive in this business? Show your heart. People respond to real, not perfect. Vulnerability is the bridge. It's how trust is born. You have to give first, and you have to give freely and fearlessly, without any guarantee of getting something in return. That's the risk. That's the game. You cannot experience love without risking heartbreak. Same in business. This is not about being polished. This is about being present. Stop watching the pot. You've heard the saying, a watched pot never boils. When you're consistently looking for results, you're just delaying it. Cultivating relationships requires faith. Faith is staying in the process without demanding instant success. Successful people believe without seeing. Everyone else needs to see in order to believe. Which one are you? Be the kind of person others remember because you made a lasting impression. not because you got something from them, but because you gave something real. Every day you are building your reputation. Every conversation leaves an impression. Be known as someone who shows up, listens, and cares. Whether there's a deal on the line or not, that's who you are. This isn't a tactic. It's a lifestyle. We don't do this to get business. We do this because it's who we are. We're not bolting it into our business. We're embedding it into our identity. When you become someone trustworthy, it doesn't just change your business. It changes who you are. And who you become is who you've been all along. You are not a commodity. You are not a transaction. You are perfection. You are infinite possibility. You are connected to everyone and everything. So who are we coaching you to be? We're coaching you to be a full fee agent, a trusted advisor. Say it with me. I am someone who shows up with no agenda and leads with care. I am someone who shows up with no agenda and leads with care. Now, going forward, what are you going to do? There's 3 steps. I want you to identify your top 25 people. People you know, people you've done business with. Who are your top 25? I want you to block 30 to 60 minutes a day, Monday through Friday, and put it in your calendar. Many of you are already doing it. Use that time to reach out, not to make a contact, but to make a connection. Non-negotiable. Once it's in your calendar, you do it. If this feels overwhelming, you're in the wrong business. And no, you're not going to talk about real estate. Ask real questions. What's the most fun thing you've done lately? What's the most interesting experience you've had? What are you doing this summer, or what have you done this summer? What's something I wouldn't know about you unless I asked? That's being vulnerable. When you're connecting, they will bring up real estate if they want to. Trust the process. You are building a trust account, depositing trust with every interaction. Pay attention, be empathetic, and be encouraging. You don't track leads, you track connections. Ask yourself every week, am I being real? Am I being present? Am I giving or am I pressuring? Am I operating from love or am I operating from lack? What's the legacy you're leaving? If this person never does business with you again, how will they remember how you made them feel? How will they remember the experience? This isn't just about growing your business. This is about building your relational legacy. Cultivating relationships is how you practice all 6 elements of the Performance 6. Mindfulness. It's about being present, listen, show up fully. Optimizing time. Protect the time to connect. That hour a day in your schedule, protect it. Prioritize people over chaos. Cultivating relationships. This is the foundation. Trust, loyalty, reputation, depth. Implementing process. Let's build a rhythm, not a checklist. Nurture, don't automate. Let's get into flow. Mastering communication. Make people feel understood. Listen empathetically. Acting strategically. This is the work that matters most. Consistency wins. So again, ask yourself, who am I right now? Am I a trusted advisor who shows up without an agenda? Someone who builds trust and plays the long game? Or am I something else? Be someone worth remembering. And so where do we go from here? Like we're gonna finish up this course, right? And it doesn't mean it's the end of cultivating relationships. Remember, this is the job, this is the work, and this is what we do from here on out. So where do we go from here? Like, do you have structure now? We've gone through a few weeks of this. We've been talking about it. Most of you, if you do an analysis of your business, will see that over your career, well over 50% of the business probably come from people you know, have worked with, and that kind of stuff. So we know it works, right? And so if we put our energies into it, and we do it consistently, like you said, you know you're going to see results, right? You all believe that, right? You have faith in that. So, I mean, what's the structure? As we cultivate relationships, there's no guarantee you're going to get anything, right? But if you're doing anything consistently over time and something that works, it's going to generate stuff, right? Real estate sales. And as it does, if you're doing it consistently over time, it's going to be consistently coming out the other side, right? If we don't do it consistently, it's not going to relate to consistent checks. And if it doesn't relate to consistent checks, then it must not work. But it's not the system that doesn't work. It's us that doesn't work the system, right? So most agents, this is the challenge, and they spend years dancing around cultivating relationships. Now, here's the truth. They never tell you in school. There are two sides to this business. Okay. Side one is doing the business. Showing the houses, writing the offer, listing property. Most agents can do this just fine, right? Side two is generating the business. And this is where the separation happens. This is where 90% of agents struggle and where the top 10% live. So let's flip the switch. This shift from reaction mode to rainmaker mode, and let's break it down to only 9 things you need to master to do this. Okay, this is the Ninja 9. This is the system in the Ninja sales that creates flow. Okay, so Eben Alexander once said, people don't decide their futures. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures. Okay, so it's not because you want something and you did one thing that happens. It's the habits that you develop to create the results. So if you're looking for flow, you don't need to get better at working harder. You need to get radically consistent at working smarter. So he starts off the Ninja 9, there's 5 daily success habits, and then there's 4 things he works on a weekly basis. And so number 1, on a daily basis, he starts his day with gratitude. Okay? When we wake up in the morning, we have 2 choices. We can be in a good mood or we can be in a bad mood. You can be positive or you can be negative, but you can't be both, not at the same time, right? And so you get to decide every day you wake up how that day is going to go. So do you wake up in the state of gratitude? Do you stop and think about what you're grateful for before you go about your day, or do you just jump in, start complaining about how early it is, how tired you are, and all the negative stuff that you've got to do, right? So gratitudes. And so in the academy and everything that I've done, one of the first things I do is I sit down and I write affirmations, the 10 things I'm grateful for, a minimum of 10 things I'm grateful for. And then I also write down 10 things that I want to attract into my life, okay? Because I think it's important for us to ask for things that we want. Not because it's going to make you happy, not because it's going to get you to a different place in your life. It's because it brings you joy, and it's. I also think if you don't ask for things, you don't get things. And we all have a tendency to give or do sacrifice for other people more than we ask for ourselves, right? And so I think it's important. You can look at it as your goals and stuff like that as well. I still believe in affirming things. And if you put it out there, your reticular activator, the thing that causes you to think or to notice things, will open doors for you. Okay. For instance, put you in contact with the right person. It's important that you do those gratitudes. And then affirmations, it just helps you focus on the good instead of picking yourself apart, right? So he starts with gratitude. Before the CRM, before the emails, start with your mindset. Get your energy right. When you live in positive energy quadrants, people feel it. Gratitude is not woohoo, it's magnetic. And as Larry Kendall teaches in the book, you broadcast your energy. People pick up on it, right? You know when somebody's negative, you know when someone's in a bad mood and you want to stay clear, right? Start your day grounded in gratitude and you'll broadcast trust. You show up calm, clear, and composed. You become someone people want to do business with. And so you think about that. First thing in the day, starting off with gratitude, your affirmations, changes the way people perceive you throughout the day. If you want to generate business, you want to create trust, and this is step one. And it should be the first thing we do. And how many of us get up and just skip this, right? Number two, he says, show up for work. And he says, don't check email first. Email is other people's agenda. You want to stay broke and reactive? Start your day in your inbox. Now that to me is pretty powerful. You want to stay broke and reactive, or you want to stay struggling? Start off in your inbox, or better yet, start off on social media. Like, if you want anything to dictate your day, it should be you, not a device, not electronics, not somebody else. You want to run a real business? Show up for work, dressed, focused, and committed to your priorities. The first 60 minutes of your day should belong to you, not your buyers, not your broker, not your phone. Distractions destroy excellence. Don't touch that inbox until your flow system is done. Number three, write 2 personal notes. Handwritten, human, undeniable. When was the last time someone sent you a handwritten note, and how did it feel? There are 3 magic starters. Thank you. Congratulations. I was thinking of you. That's all you need. Right? 2 notes a day, which is 10 a week, 500 a year. Want to know what 500 emotional deposits does for your business? Okay, in the book, he talks about this guy named Nolan, who runs a mortgage team up in Calgary. They laughed when they heard this in the Ninja installation. They thought it was silly. Then they tried it. Their business exploded. Want real rate of return? Send love, not leads. Number 4, he says, focus on your daily hot list. These are the people who want to buy or sell soon within the next 90 days. You've got people on your list right now that want to buy or sell in the next 90 days, and you know it and they know it. That's your hot list. They've said yes. You said yes. Let's go. Here's your question every morning. Who on this list is ready to write a contract this week? Like, go over each one of them. What do we got to do to move them to the next step? What do we got to do to move them to a contract? Your brain will find the answer. It's called the reticular activating system. It's the same brain filter that makes you suddenly see a red Jeep everywhere after you buy one. What you focus on expands. Number 5, focus on your warm list daily. The warm list is where the magic begins. These are the people you know who are going to move, even if they don't know they're moving yet. Why? Because their life is changing and real estate is about change. Okay? This is what you're looking for when you're making the calls. You're listening deeply, you're connecting with people, and you're going to hear change that's happening in their life. In the book, he talks about a guy named Russ. The guy got promoted, and he had to go to Denver, which was an hour away. Okay, so it was a 2-hour commute each day, there and back. Okay, he wasn't planning on moving. He was euphoric that he just got this job promotion. He got this new job. You're not just an agent, you're an observer of life change. Monitor their pain, stay in flow. When they're ready, you're the only one they'll call. So he knew that eventually this 2-hour trip would probably create enough pain that's going to cause somebody to make a move. Right? That's what we're looking for. We know that they're having change. There's probably going to be an opportunity that they're going to want to buy or sell or move in the future. And that's your warm list, right? So you got the hot list, people are moving in the next 90 days. You got your warm list, people that you, based on change, believe that they're going to move eventually, maybe a year, maybe 6 months, maybe a year and a half. But that's your warm list. So do this when we get off the call. Take your database and run it through the 16 life change list. Each one of this is a trigger for future movement that's on your warm list. And 20% of your warm list will become transactions. And so I'll give you the page number of where this list is to before we get off the call. If not, I'll email it to you. But the life change triggers, like are they getting divorced? Are they getting married? Do they have a kid that just graduated high school? These are all the things. And when you look at these and you go through your list, you say, this has happened to this person, that moves them to your warm list. 20% of that warm list will become a transaction. So the 4-week success habits, this is what you do on a weekly basis. Those are on your daily. You're going to go through your hot list every day. You're going to go through your gratitudes every day. You're not going to look at your phone or your email first thing. You're going to show up to work. You're going to dictate your day. And then on a weekly list, you're going to make your weekly customer service calls. This is where you build trust, not when you have time, but on a set schedule. And what these are your active clients that you have today. If you've got someone in escrow, you've got somebody that you have a house listed, you've got somebody's house under contract, whatever it is, you're going to make sure that you're reaching out to them on a weekly basis at a minimum. If your clients call you first, you're failing. If they're calling you for updates, you're failing. You should be initiating the contact. Here's why these calls matter. Number one, they build trust. They uncover referrals, and they eliminate the drama. You want fewer nasty surprises in your transactions? Call your people every week before they call you. Use the 5-step calling process. Greet them, find common ground forward, state your purpose, update gratitude check-in, return to connection, and close it quick with like 2 to 3 minutes. Short, sweet, professional. Oh, and don't email and pick up the phone. Updates by email are not the same as updates by phone. Number 7 of the 9, which you do on a weekly basis, schedule 2 live real estate reviews weekly. You are the trusted advisor. You need to act like one. Their house is likely their largest financial asset. And yet most homeowners don't even have an annual review. You're not pitching, you're serving. Okay, this is where you're going to call them up every year and you're going to offer them the service of where they are, the value of their house. If they say they don't have time to sit down with you, go ahead and send it to them, but you send it through snail mail, not through email. It's more powerful when they receive it in the mail. Okay, many of you did something similar to this if you were in Shelley's listing challenge, right? as you're going through, we're sending Zillow reviews and stuff like that. That's not this. You're scheduling an appointment to actually do a better analysis of it. Use RPR, use charts, but most importantly, sit down and talk about their life. Okay, it's an opportunity to connect. Magic questions. What are your long-term plans for this home? If you could wave a magic wand and live anywhere, where would that be? 1 out of every 3 live reviews equal business. The return on investment is outrageous. Have 50 live interviews. And then the next one is number 8 is have 50 live interviews each week. These are your relationship calls. Okay, that's like 10 a day. This isn't cold calling. This isn't about counting the 50. This is about the life contact. Okay, we want to talk to them about church, Starbucks, soccer, health club, school events, whatever it is, face-to-face or voice-to-voice. These are interviews, not interrogations. Ask forward questions, listen for life change, then write it down, update it in your CRM so that you have it, so the next time you call, you can reference back to it. It's not about saying the perfect thing. It's about being present when their life shifts. Okay. Now, the beautiful thing is this doesn't mean you have to sit down in your database and call 50 people. Everyone you talk to during the week counts. So if you do hold an open house, Jerome, and somebody does walk in and you do talk about forward questions, family, occupation, recreation, dreams, that counts. If you sit down with somebody to go over their house value, that counts. It's not that hard to get 50. It's not about sitting down and hammering out 50 phone calls. It's about connecting with 50 people, asking forward questions, trying to go deeper in a relationship on a weekly basis to 50. Does that make sense? Okay. And then number 9, update your database weekly. Your database is your business. It's not optional. It's not when you get around to it. It's your central nervous system. Update it, clean it, print it out. Print out your hot and warm leads list every week. Carry them with you. Review them every morning. Real pros treat this like oxygen. Amateurs treat it like admin work. It's your business. Your database depreciates 15% per year. Don't let your income depreciate with it. If you really get this down and you really get this will be a differentiator. This is what's going to create a business for you, not a job. Okay. Many agents get into this for a business, but what they have is a job. A job means it relies 100% on you all the time. Yes, it's going to take some work. Yes, it's going to take some vulnerability. Yes. If it were easy, everyone would do it. Right? But if you step up and you do this, I promise you, you're going to start to see changes very quickly. And it's going to feel way more rewarding. And you're going to work with people that know, like, and trust you, and people you want to work with, and people that see your value, and people that will pay you a full fee without question. It's the key to everything.